Hey Libra, I hope you guys are doing great today. Welcome to your general messages for June 20th through June 30th. We're just hitting the end of June. I did do an extended love read just several days ago. So if you want to check that out separately, I'm not going to be focusing primarily on love. I'm just going to keep it very general here. So that other relationship read has to do with singles, partnered, as well as those of you in separation, if you want to check that out. So we have a lot going on this particular time period, and I just want to tell you some messages that I was getting while I was meditating. First of all, for those Libra, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus friends who are in a space where you're trying to conceive, okay, those of you, now obviously this is not going to apply for all Libras, but those of you who are trying to conceive, this could be a little bit of a challenging energy for you, right? Right now you have Jupiter this week, as of this week, right? Jupiter is going retrograde on the 20th, and then we have Neptune is going retrograde on the 25th, both in Pisces. And I feel like there's going to be some challenge because this is happening in your 6th house. That has to do with your health. So there might be some holding back, some sort of like not yet energy. You know, in addition, you do have Saturn in your 5th house. Right now, Saturn does rule children. And so I'm getting very strong, though, that those of you who are trying to push forward with this idea of either conceiving, trying to discuss with your partner having a child, you might feel like you're hitting a wall, like something is not working, like something is amiss. There might be something going on there. And I always say, whenever we have the 6th house and we have Neptune in the, like whenever those two hit together, you know, there might be some sort of medical issue going on, right? Because Neptune does rule disease. It rules, and not necessarily that you have any kind of disease. I don't want to scare anybody, but it's like things going on that you can't quite see. So it's the sort of thing that you might want to get checked out, particularly because we have this energy that's going to be retrograde, right? Doesn't mean going backwards, it just means slowing down, where things need to be reassessed, evaluated, all of that in that 6th house energy. So we have the energy that rules things that might be going on underneath the surface in the house of health. And because Saturn is in that 5th house of children, I feel like for some of you, it's going to be manifesting like that. A lot of you are going to be in this space as well, having to do with your everyday, right? That 6th house day to day kind of thing. Right now, Libra, you have that retrograde energy where you're just like, I want to move forward in my life, but I'm really not sure, right? And it's that kind of thing. And the tension that you're going to be feeling from the Sun entering Cancer in your 10th house, plus the full moon in Capricorn, is going to be happening in your 4th house. So that's like that home and work axis. It's your public reputation, your standing in the world, and it's going to be in tension with your home, with your ability to feel grounded, rooted, safe, and secure. So for some of you, there could be some tension about having to do with money regarding your home, the running of your home, the working of your home, the buying of a home, sale of a home, working from home. It could have also having to do with your reputation, right, as somebody who is married versus in tension with maybe if you're having some challenges in your marriage right now. But I feel like these are things that you're slowing down and you're looking at, because at the same time, you do have between your 5th and your 7th house, Saturn is sextiling Chiron, and I really like this energy. This is the second of 3 hits for this longer term influence. The first one was in February. The second one's going to be in November. The next one, the final one's going to be in November. This is the second one. And this is going to help soften the rough edges that I've been talking about with the Saturn-Uranus square. As you remember, we have Saturn, we have Uranus. Chiron is an asteroid that's in the middle, right? And Chiron kind of wants to come in here and say, all right, Saturn, you're all about restriction in the past. Uranus, you're all about the future and feeling free. There's restriction, there's freedom. And here's Chiron in the middle saying, can't we all get along? Right? And it's doing so without drama, with respect, with I want to say like cooler heads will prevail in this energy. And because it's happening between your 5th house of falling in love, love affairs, romance, children, what you want to do because you want to do it, and that 7th house of marriage, of contractual partnerships. So this could even have to do with if you have your own business, that's a 5th house thing. 7th house is contracts, people that you are dealing with contracts with. So I feel like there's going to be some healing between that energy, okay? Which I think is actually going to be really good for you. Also, we do have Mercury is finally coming out of retrograde. Mercury's going direct. Woohoo! Finally. Not totally out of shadow until the 7th of July, but you're going to start feeling, the 22nd, you're going to start to feel things shift and lighten up. And as far as your belief system, what it is that you want for yourself. Those of you who have been in a space of needing to negotiate something, not being able to figure out how it is exactly that you feel about something that you're going to be moving forward in. You might be really confused right now. Things are going to start to crystallize for you, okay? Because you've had that Mercury retrograde and it's been squared Neptune. It's like, I don't know what I feel. I don't know. So there's going to be some clarity there. I feel like it's going to be a pretty big energy for you because, guys, look, I mean, we don't have to play like the cardinal signs haven't had their asses handed to them, huh? Come on now. You, Aries. You guys have really been, Aries, Sagittarius. It's been a challenging go, right? Aries, Cancer, Libra, Capricorn. I mean, this is just the energy, especially those of you who are at 0 to 8 degrees. You're feeling it, if you know your degree placement. So let's get into that. So that was just kind of a lay of the land and some things that I was getting in my pre-shuffle. So starting out, we're just getting a lay of the land here. Embrace your power is being clarified by Temperance in the reverse. So when we have Temperance in the reverse, this is about recognizing that there's some sort of imbalance going on in your life. There's an area where there's a lack of cooperation, or you just feel like there's just generally unfairness within a relationship at home, or maybe just something regarding finances, but you might feel like you're putting a lot of work into something and it's just not working. And at the same time, you might be feeling challenged by something that needs to change, and the stress of that past situation, something from the past, some issue that maybe you thought was healed but is not really healed, is currently impacting your life, your relationships, your job, how you view your work, whatever it is, that family situation. But it's difficult memories of the past can make you feel very stuck and very held back in your ability to move forward. And it's time to really sort of embrace your power and recognize that you're in between worlds right now, sort of stuck between what was and what will be or what can be. And it's this in-between place. But what needs to be looked at is love here, and like stripping it all down. Are you doing what you love? Are you with the person that you really love? Are you really loving who you are and what you're doing right now? Where does love fit in your life? Where does it fit in? And just in general, this is an energy where it's like embrace the love in your life, whether it's for your pets, your children, your partner, your job, your friends, your family, whatever it is, really looking at the love in your life and looking at the unfairness kind of at the same time and saying, okay, we need to have a shift. We need to have a shift, because I want to just say something real quick about this Jupiter and this Neptune energy in Pisces being retrograde right now, okay? That's hitting within this time period. When we have a retrograde energy in Pisces, especially Jupiter, because Jupiter is all about blessings and expansion and moving us forward with integrity. So when it's retrograde, meaning when it's being meant to slow down in an energy like Pisces rules our dreams. But it's also where we identify where we're needing to sacrifice things in order to make something work. So something is being slowed down in your life right now so that you can look at it more clearly, so that you don't end up being the victim of something that isn't ultimately meant for you. Now, this retrograde, this Jupiter retrograde, is happening in Pisces until July 28th. But then it's going to be going into Aquarius, which is all about the future and new. So it's literally like Jupiter is taking you and saying, Libra, you got to look at this, because I want to move you into the future, but I'm not going to release you from this retrograde. I'm not going to release you from having to go through whatever it is until you recognize what it is that you really want to move forward in the future with. So you really do need to trust in the divine plan and pay attention to the lessons that you've been learning. That's the World card, is lessons learned, so that you can move forward and have that happy and fulfilling relationship, so that you can have those goals achieved, that new position, that rise in status, and whatever it is that you are working on or through in your life right now. You're very poised and very ready. Wow, are you ready for happiness, for success, for that next step, and whatever it is for you, however you're resonating with it in your life. But you have to pay attention to the signs. Whenever I get this too, guys, and I have I'm getting goosebumps from this as well. I just feel like a lot of you may have somebody, a very spiritual connection that has your back. Either somebody who's passed, who's on the other side, who's watching you. This could just be one of your angels, your protectors, or it could just be spirit. But I feel like this very, very beautiful, energetic, supportive vibe, sort of just like underneath you, just picking you up, holding you up, and supporting you right now. This is really beautiful. Now we have the taking the lead. Oh, and we have the Nine of Swords. Okay, so what this means is you have the taking the lead, and it's being clarified by the Nine of Swords. And the Nine of Swords is about anxiety and overwhelm. You have to get in front of that. What are you feeling depressed about? What are you feeling anxious about? What are you losing sleep over? What do you feel like you're not responding very well to externally? Where you're just like, I don't know, feeling just so confused, but you have to figure it out with the thinker energy. You got the soulmate. Oh, wow. So, look, I feel like you're in this space, Libra. It does seem like where these big questions are being posed to you on an energetic level, and you're being forced to look at them. Are you with the person that you're meant to be with? Are you in the job that you're meant? Are you where you're supposed to be? And we could say, well, look, that's such an existential question that's almost run of the mill and rote at this point, right? Isn't that what everybody asks? Especially people who, take out the time and the energy in their life to seek out messages from tarot, messages from astrology, and all of that. Everybody just wants to know, am I doing the right thing, right? I mean, I think that's a normal part of the process, but this is a little different. I feel like you've reached an impasse where you recognize, okay, it is seriously make or break time. I can't do this anymore. So I have to recognize, am I in a relationship that I'm just simply not willing to leave? You might not be willing to leave it for several reasons, whether it's finances, your children, whatever it is. You might be in that job that you're just not willing to leave. The money is too good and your family needs the money. Whatever it is, it's recognizing soulmates means lesson. Soulmate means connected because of lessons that need to be learned or that have been learned, okay? So it's you figuring out, what are the lessons that need to be learned? Am I willing to leave A, B, or C, whatever it is in your life? And if I'm not, then it's time for me to just cut out the cognitive dissonance and for me to just embrace and accept that I'm going to stay in this situation. I'm going to make the best of it. Or I have to leave. But the in-between is not going to be able to happen anymore. So it's acceptance or moving on. Figuring out a way to make something work for yourself. Depending on the situation, that could certainly happen. But it's just figuring that part out. Are you confused between two people? Who do you feel like your soul connects with the most? Are you confused about two positions or two jobs or two paths? What do you feel like is going to bring you what it is that you ultimately want? You ultimately want. And in the poised position, you're figuring out what that means because you're doing a lot of thinking. There's a lot of very, very deep introspection going on here. I feel like I want to use the Tarot de la Nuit. Those of you who want to know. Okay. Messages for our Libra friends. King of Pentacles. So some of you can just straight up be confused about work, right? So we have the King of Pentacles. It's being crossed by the Seven of Cups. Seven of Cups is about choices and confusion and having a hard time committing to a particular either path, position, offer, whatever it is. and things can feel kind of up in the air in this energy, right? But yeah, because the King of Pentacles is it's a very hardworking energy, you know, generous, hardworking energy. But you're in this space where you really want to make the most out of things for yourself. Like you're looking at your life, you're looking at everything, very panoramic energy. And I feel like you're going to be doing that anyway, because you have all this retrograde in the 6th house, which is basically, it's not only your work, it's not only your mental, physical, and emotional health, it really is your day-to-day experience. It's you looking at your life, like but in very practical terms, very like, I wake up in the morning, I brush my teeth, I eat breakfast kind of thing. Am I doing my days the way that I'm meant to do them, the way I want to do them, you know? And you're going to be looking at that. Now, for some of you are going to be just like, look, I feel like I'm not happy and I'm really tired of wasting my time. So you may be in this space where I want to do more, I want to be more. Maybe you want to switch a job. Maybe you want to, you know, address some sort of situation, right? Because the thing is with the King of Pentacles, and look, the King of Pentacles is two things at once. And the reason I'm saying this is because I have a lot of people who comment. They're like, oh, it's almost contradictory information when you read the King of Pentacles. It's really not. You have to understand most energies are not so black and white streamlined. The King of Pentacles, on the one hand, is in his own mind generous, in his own mind hardworking, wants to be settled in that job, in that relationship, in that situation, right? Because it's an Aries and Taurus energy. Taurus is very earthy, likes to be settled, okay? But at the same time, we have this Aries, this fire Aries energy that wants what it wants when it wants it. And Aries is also about you know, being a leader, sort of being in control. So while it's a positive energy, it also has the streak of saying, basically, I'm going to give you A, B, and C, but it has to be on my terms. Don't try to take my money. Don't try to change me. Don't try to do anything like that. I know what I bring to the table, and I want to make the most out of that. So I'm going to give you as long as I'm comfortable with what I'm giving you. And that's not to say that it's so conditional. It's just that the King of Pentacles knows what feels right to him. I hope that explains that. So that's what we have as a situation right now. Now, this could be you, or this could be an energy that you're dealing with, where you might have a business partner, you might have a marriage partner, you might have a family member, where in their own mind, they're very, very generous, and they very well may be. But it gets to a point where it's like, yeah, but you know what? You know, you have to show up at this point. Now it's like, I can't do everything kind of thing. So you may be feeling like that, or somebody may be feeling like that with you. So that's an energy there. But it's also about, at the same time, recognizing what you bring to the table and wanting to make the most of that. But there is confusion. And you feel like, you know that you're at the beginning of something. You know that you're at the beginning of a new stage, a new part of your life. You recognize that. You have no idea what's on the other side of it. Things are very up in the air because it's a Venus and Scorpio energy, right? So Venus has to do with money. It has to do with love. It has to do with how you feel about yourself. Scorpio is all about endings and beginnings, right? It's ruled by Pluto. So the modern ruler of Pluto. So modern ruler is Pluto, rather. So it's about transformation. And we have the Page of Swords as the crowning energy here, and it's in reverse. So the Page of Swords in reverse can indicate some sort of bad news. This could be some sort of legal or tax issue. This could indicate heavy immaturity. This could indicate some challenges regarding children. So for some of you, Page of Swords in reverse could also indicate, because Page is a new cycle, and swords are truth, swords are, you know, communication and all of that. But it's, so some of you may be getting some challenging news about being able to get pregnant, some sort of challenging news regarding one of your children. This could also just be very immature communication between you and a coworker, you and a boss, you and a partner. Immature, but almost like a manipulative kind of energy as well. We have the foundation, though, is you just want to be flippin' happy. This is about happiness and wishes manifesting. Some of you may be meeting somebody new, because this is about new romance. This This is also about great friendship, though. Feeling more connected to your own heart, and you recognizing it's time for you to feel really connected to your heart. It's time for you to grow. Again, this is a Jupiter and Pisces energy. So Jupiter and Pisces is like, I want to expand my dreams. I want to focus on my dreams. I want to just let all of the tension and the BS from my life just sort of melt away into the past. And I want to just focus on being happy right now. And we have the Four of Wands energy is the position representing you. And this is a Venus and Aries energy, guys. So when we have Venus and Aries, Aries is all about fresh path and new perspective. So this is a new cycle. So some of you may be dealing with a new partner who's really opening up their heart, expressing their love. Those of you who are already in partnerships, it's you guys are leveling it up. This is also the honeymoon energy, right? So this could have to do with, maybe you guys just got married, or there's this conversation about marriage, whether it's a marriage that you're in, getting married, something like that. But there is this energy of a strong foundation. And there is this energy of creation as well. Lots of creative energy here. But it's wanting the strong foundation, wanting this thing. Like, that's the space that you're in, right? That's the space that you're in. You want a strong foundation having to do with that marriage, that relationship, that job, that family situation, whatever it is. But you're struggling with the Nine of Swords. It's kind of surrounding you. You're feeling anxious about something. Something is making you feel overwhelmed. It's getting in the way of your sleeping healthily. And it's you recognizing that maybe you're not responding the best to the external stress. Not that you're even lashing out at anybody, but you might be just so stressed out, where it's just, having, creating a challenge in as far as you being able to kind of almost think straight during the day, it's a tough energy. And your challenge here is the sun. This is your sun, the sun. And this is the thing, because this is the numerology link to this is the Wheel of Fortune. Your challenge here is recognizing that you're at a turning point. The challenge here is in recognizing that you need to take a chance on one thing or another. And it's like, very confusing energy. This is very confusing. You want to grow that beautiful connection. You want to have success in that position. You want to have success in that, whatever it is. You want things to go well, but there's some sort of challenge for you. There's some sort of block. And I feel like for a lot of you, you're in something that intuitively is toxic for you. So it's like you want to get on the chariot and just get the hell out of Dodge, right? A lot of you are in this space. Now, this is a relationship situation being expedited for those of you who are resonating with this with relationship. So we have to look at the energy. I'm going to pull a couple of clarifiers before I even say anything. Let's just see what we get for the chariot. The Ace of Swords. We have the Magician. Well, I'd say those are two very positive energies here, because this is about moving away from anything that's toxic towards what it is that you're meant to be going towards. So if this has to do with a job, this is quick changes and progress and something moving forward, bringing something to fruition. But whatever it is, it's going to be very exciting. And even, and you know what? This is a Cancer energy. This is in the near future. So I do like this. Oh my gosh, having the Magician and the Ace of Swords. So yeah, going back to this idea, and I don't know why I'm getting this. I don't know why. It's certainly not me. I don't have strong Libra in my chart, and the shop's absolutely closed regarding children, so it's not me, and I don't really know anyone who's in this space who is a Libra, but it's what I'm feeling very strongly. Regarding going back to that, let's just kind of even like blanket this a little wider. Even if you're trying to have children, start a business, buy a home, think about the idea of fertility. And maybe it's because you guys are ruled by Venus, and Venus rules the Empress energy, and that's the mother of the tarot. It doesn't really matter. But it's this idea of growth. And I feel like you're going to be experiencing this sort of very sludgy energy that you're not able to just get going what it is that you want to go. You don't feel connected. There's some sort of toxic energy here that you're very very aware of. But that you're going to be leaving the toxic energy. And then we have the Chariot is being clarified by the Ace of Swords. The Ace of Swords is auspicious for everything. This is new beginnings. This is decisions, clear thinking. in love, in work, in any area of your life. This is an immediate change to circumstances. I have a lot of very quick energy here. The Chariot's quick and this is quick, right? This is quick. And if this has to do with a relationship of any kind, whether it's intimate, a family connection, whatever it is, getting over past obstacles, right? And getting what you want, thoughts becoming things. And it's with the help of the Magician, straight up Mercury, having the conversation. Mercury rules Gemini. It also rules Virgo, which is a problem-solving energy. So it's being able to crystallize something. So this is really good, right? This is communication going really well to sort of address any problems and resolving any sort of problems, so that and there's a deeper understanding, whether it's, you know, intimate, family, friendship kind of thing. If it has to do with career or money, this is a new beginning or direction in the career. This can, you know, this is nice. This could also be, I don't know, some of you may be selling a home, or you making a decision to move for an improved quality of life. Some of you may be doing that. Right, because the Magician is Mercury. Mercury rules that third house, which is your neighborhood, right? So some of you are going to be doing that. But we have some good news coming in, guys. 8 of Wands. So I feel like ultimately the final outcome energy is there's going to be some sort of good news coming in. It's going to incite a busy time for you. Now, this is great if you've been feeling held back, really stuck, waiting for a decision, waiting for yourself to make a decision. This is really good news for growth coming in, right? Speaking exactly to what I've been saying here as well. Yeah. And this is really good news as well about love, especially if you guys have been separated or in a weird space. It does seem like that going well, but let's get some other energies on this. We have the Knight of Swords. Knight of Swords is expect the unexpected. Okay, yeah, Libra, I mean, just be like a little careful, because we have this expect the unexpected. This is like this is just like you, okay? But let's talk about it as an influence, because it could be an influence, this could be a person, or this could be just representing you, right? Because it's a court card. Court cards can always be any of those three. So as you, this is telling you expect the unexpected. Now, as an influence, it's an unpredictable roller coaster energy, sudden things coming to light. This can be confusing. Things can feel very up in the air and a little chaotic. Just wait for things to settle down. They will settle down. So wait for something to settle down before you actually make a move or make a solid decision on something. Some of you may be dealing with a Knight of Swords energy, which is somebody who's very forthright, very driven, very forward. This is somebody who kind of comes in and creates a lot of drama, and they don't take responsibility for what they say, what they do, reconciling the situation, anything. Like they just kind of like make a mess and like you deal with it, kind of like thing. And you're going to be in this space where you're going to be like, what the hell just happened, right? Because you're going to be motivated to find out the truth and the psychological motivation going on with either a person or a situation. You'll be like, what is really going on? You get the Moon energy here. So some of you, first of all, if this has to do with career or money, you know, things might be okay with money or whatever, but you might be like, why am I even doing this to myself? Why am I even in this? It's not ultimately feeling like something isn't even worth it. If it has to do with relationship, you might be really confused and disappointed because somebody ultimately ends up letting you down. It's like you thought things were going to go in a better direction. You really did. You thought things were weird, then things got straightened out, and then you guys are going in a good direction, and then all of a sudden we have this feeling let down, and really not trusting if the whole situation is even going to be able to work out at all. You're just being in this space. And then we have the Knight of Cups coming in. This is a proposal. Yeah, I mean, so this is an emotional time within an existing relationship. For some of you, this can be you being wrapped up in a new relationship. This could be new friends entering your life. But this could also be an offer. So this is very interesting because I feel like, Okay, I feel like a lot of you were in something that you were trying to make work, and you really were, and then something happened where you felt let down, but then something else came in. This is either offer of another relationship, this is an offer of a new job, a new position, something new came in, and we have the death energy. So if this has to do with a career, this could be a possible ending of a business connection or an avenue of making money. Could be kind of challenging initially, but this energy indicates this is something new on the horizon. You just have to be patient. For those of you in relationship, this could indicate the relationship ending, or at least there's a need for separation. If you guys are ever going to work it out in the future, there needs to be this breathing space kind of in between the two of you. If this doesn't have to do with an intimate relationship, this could be with a family member or a friendship. It doesn't really matter. Now, others of you, I do want to say, because the death also definitely resonates with home energy as well. Like your living circumstances may change because you realize where you're living no longer meets your needs. And maybe with the Knight of Cups, you actually got an offer on your home, or you put an offer in a new home. There's the Moon, which rules Cancer, which is home. It's this energy of like, okay, I got to leave. Like it's this idea of moving. Move it. But the death energy, when it comes to moving, it's you being offered something that's actually going to bring you to a place better than where you are right now. But there's some confusion. So obviously, you know, however it resonates with you, I just gave you a bunch of, these are general messages. But we have the death energy being clarified by the Hangman. So whatever is ending, whatever is sort of transforming in this energy, there's some confusion here. So if this has to do with career or money, things might seem very unclear with work right now. If that's the case, just try not to sign any contract or deal with any sort of legal matters right now until, because it seems like something's going on that you intuitively vibe, but you're not yet fully aware of. So you might experience some sort of delay, but ultimately you're protected. So like, that's a good thing. This could also indicate a delay in some sort of housing situation. Buying a home, selling it, it's like the offer comes in, but then there ends up being some sort of delay. If this has to do with a relationship, you may be in the space of waiting and figuring out, I don't know what to do. Somebody may be waiting on you, or you might be waiting on somebody else. And you're just not sure if an energy that you're dealing with in a relationship feels the way that you do, if they're willing to put in as much as you are. And that could end up making you feel like, hey, wait a minute. Am I waiting around for this person, for this situation to resolve itself for nothing? Am I going to end up being the victim of something here? Am I going to end up having to martyr myself on what I feel like is the right thing in order to make this work? And that's kind of like the space you're in, because you're like, I don't know. This is a Neptune energy. And Neptune's very smoke and mirrors. Neptune equates to confusion. And you're just like, I don't know if this whole thing is worth it. Clarifying that, though, we have the Three of Wands, and this is you feeling very ready to turn your back on the past. This is one of the good fortune cards. This is about thriving business, busy, intense period. For a lot of you, this is an indicator for a wedding or at least an important relationship. This is you moving on to realize your plans. Some of you may be doing something completely different than you've been doing. Completely different. You might be going into a completely different relationship out of nowhere. You might be going into a completely different line of work, changing jobs, whatever it is. But it's energetically, I'm doing this because it's like you're being called forth into the future by somebody. Remember, this is a sun in Aries. The sun is focus. Aries is a new path, fresh path, new start. There's a new start here. Turning you back to the past, new start, new start. You just don't want to keep doing what you've been doing, and however you're resonating with this. And the Four of Swords are very healthy energies. This is Jupiter and Leo. This is taking time out for either recovery or a step back for perspective. This is a really good energy to do shadow work, therapy, just to figure out a better strategy for moving forward regarding this situation. But then we have the Three of Swords energy. So this is the thing, the lights are coming on. So this has to do with heartbreak. This has to do with the pain of a truth. And maybe it's the pain of your own truth, Libra. You might be feeling depressed. You might be feeling anxious during all of this, but the lights have come on and the clouds of doubt are going to be cleared. You're going to be able to face reality. At least the confusion's going to be gone. As far as, hey, what's really going on here? Do you know what I mean? That part. That doesn't mean that you're going to have it all figured out. No one really does in this energy. This is just like very weird, energetic time period that we're in, right? So if you're feeling like that, don't worry. Join the club, right? It's everybody. But you're going to be in a position where you're going to be able to move on from either the pain, the confusion, whatever, right? And you're going to be able to begin some real healing, because that's what you need to do. Beautiful Emperor, Aries. That's it. Let's go. New beginning. And this is you being the leader in your own life. This is you being the leader in your own life. You know? Aries, it's also, well, for those of you who are Libra risings, you have Aries in your 7th house. So you might be really ready to just go for that soul connection. Some of you might be dealing with an Aries there. We have the High Priestess, Queen of Wands, yeah. You're just so ready to step into your power, Libra. I mean, I don't even need to pull any more cards. You just don't want to play this game anymore. Especially if you're dealing with anybody who's very self-absorbed, if you're dealing with anybody who is just not being fair, it's like you just truly can't even like pretend anymore in whatever situation that's in. All right, my friends, that is what I have for you. I hope this was helpful in some way. Maybe gave you something to think about at the very least. Thank you so much for joining me. Have an awesome week, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.